when I review the critiques from the week before, sometimes I give out little gold stars like a teacher to the students. And then the gold stars is not only because your artwork was good, because we can all be good or not or whatever, but you know what I mean. Is I usually base it on see how you've been evolving, see how much effort and time you're putting, or I saw that you struggled with something and you overcame it. And at the same time, I felt a little bit bad when I decided to do the gold star board because I don't want people that if they don't get a gold star, it's like, oh, you didn't get it or you failed. So it's like you're all stars in my eyes, you know what I mean? So this is more like you're doing amazing. I guess it's more like when I see that you pass your own challenges or like you evolve to the next level. So the way you kind of see the way I see the boards, think of Pokemons. So when you evolve to the next level, that's when you get this start. Because you can be an awesome Pikachu, but then it's like you're awesome Pikachu and you battle and all that. But then if I see that you move to the next level, it's like, he evolved into a Raichu. So that's when you get the gold star from me. To give you a perfect example, it is, we have used this before. We have used this before and as example. So we have used Hegel before. This is one of our weekly students. I don't know why my camera is so dark. Let me see if I can get some extra field light over here. So Hegel is a good example. You can see it here. This was Hegel in February. And 3 weeks later, so this is how she started our classes, our free classes every Tuesday, which I have an update about that. And 3 weeks later with my classes, this is where Hegel is. So you guys can clearly see how amazing she has evolved in 4 weeks. So you see, so when I say stuff like this, it's like you get a gold star. And I forgot what we say, but I say after you make it to 10 gold stars, no, after you make it 5 gold stars, you get a little gold star flare on your name. And after you make it to 10 gold stars, I am going to ship you some merch prints and stuff. Which, Hegel, I have not forgot to your sticker. I have it on my list of things I have to ship out. So hang in there. I haven't forgotten. I have you on my list to do. On the other thing, I wanted to give you guys two announcements. One, the Tuesday 8 p.m. class, so the free class, we're going to move it to Thursday at 6 p.m. Hopefully that will still work for you guys' schedule, but it has been easier for me with my own schedule. That way I don't have to keep, canceling or postponing. And it'll be easier because I have mentorships. I have mentorships on Thursdays. So Thursdays, I have mentorships at 7. So I'm going to do the class right before mentorship. So I'm here online all in all once. So hopefully we also get some new folks on Thursday. And hopefully the people from Tuesday can move to Thursday. So starting next week, we're going to move it to Thursday at 6 p.m. And for the other folks, I have mentorships. And if you want to get better with your fundamentals, or you want to work on a special project, or get better, or you have a goal or something like that, you can go to the website and check out. And if you have any issues checking out, message me or message Dustin or Pete. And it will be awesome to work with you one-on-one on mentorship. We meet once a week and I answer you through the week. Sometimes I'm a little behind on that, but I'll try my best to answer on chat. And we work on customized projects for you, all around your like strengths and weaknesses and how to get you to the next Chipokemon level. And it's all custom made, so that's how it is mentorship with me. So that's it for filler information today. And let's get started for last week's critiques and last week's assignments. So I'll be honest, I'll tell you right now, I have no idea what assignment to give today, but if we have a chance, I told you guys we were going to talk about perspective 101, and if we have a chance, we're going to do a homework around that. So let me go ahead and get the homeworks for this week. Let me see. Let me see if everybody did the same one. Okay, it seems like most people did the same birds. This is the reference that we use for last week's. And these were some of the references that I put on the channel. I know that this was like not one of the most exciting homework, so I know not many people did or it felt repetitive. At the same time, repetition is what makes you guys better to master something. So the first person we have is actually we have Higo. Let me see if you have any update or no. So we only have three homework assignments today, so we might be able to get into a quick demo. So that's good. I'm happy to see Hegel doing traditional. That's always cool. You love doing these homework gestures, always help me. Nice. Okay. So this is Hegel's. And let me get to my notes. So the assignment for this week was to try not go back again to the basics because on the past couple of weeks, we've been working, in the past couple of weeks, we have been working a lot with values and lighting and shading and mark making and all of that. And I feel that we were getting a little bit away from the fundamentals of the first couple of class that we had, and is to get your landmarks correctly. So I gave a little tutorial on how to use landmarks for guides and trying to get your proportions correctly. So this week's was that. It's like copy the reference the best that you can in any technique you want, and to keep in mind the gesture of the wings, of the bird's wings, and the perspective that they had and the gestures of the wings, and trying to get the gesture down if you can too. So let's want to start with Hegel's review, and let me read the comments really quick. Okay, so Hegel, so you say you didn't get to finish it? Is that what you're saying? I feel you guys, something with life stuff. That makes total sense. That's why I'm switching the classes to Thursday. I'm in the same boat. So I'll give him a second. I'm waiting for Hegel to answer. Sometimes I wish, like with Dustin, if when we do recording, if we can put the class chat online so people know when I'm talking, what am I reading. So, okay. So really quick, I want to say, Hegel, I really like the gestures. Yes, I was able to do the outline, but didn't get to work as much. Gotcha. All right, thanks for that update. So I won't go so hard nitpicking on you tonight. So first of all, I want to say that I think Hegel's, your gesture is coming out nice. I really like how the gesture is happening, and also the proportion of this bird to the back, to the bird on the back is pretty good. This light is like driving me crazy. Maybe this anti-glare will help. So I like the gesture. I am very happy that you got the angle of the wings correctly. So you got that parallel, and then that you got that little flicker. I'm very happy seeing that you got that. So that makes me very happy to see. Also, the angle of this looks pretty good. And this is complicated, and I like how you did it. It looks pretty good. I love seeing all of that, how that came out. Also, I can see that you're trying to follow some of those little landmarks we talk about. Like, I see that there's this little tiny little triangle here, and then you have the little triangle here. Even though yours is bigger, I can see behind your mind that you notice that that's there. I also have to say your angles are correct. Like, so yeah, good job today with getting all your angles correctly. Yeah, getting all your angles correctly. That looks pretty good. Also, I'm happy seeing how your mark making, how more and more, the more you work, you've been getting away, especially this one, how you've been getting away more and more from this. That's what I know is what you used to do before, which is the doing that instead of like just a single line. So I noticed that your mark making is getting more and more into a single line. So that's pretty good. So how will make this better? Even that I know you didn't finish that and you're still fixing things. Let's pretend that you did just for critique reasons for people who are watching it. So I will say, going back to little fruit fly. Uh, oh my god, you guys, renting time. I got these new plants with soils, and for some reason the soil it can be infested with all these little gnats, little flies, and they're flying everywhere and they're driving me crazy. So I think that I read online you can spray peppermint on the top of the soil to kill them when you buy a new plant. I'm gonna try that out. And say, yeah. So she said, oh, maybe that's what I should do. I should start reading people's comments. So since people watching it on YouTube can see. So he could say, yeah, I do these short lines to start sometimes and then go over them to erase them to make a line stronger. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Also, I noticed that you're implementing some of the things we learned in previous classes, like these are thicker and then these ones are thinner in the light. So good job. I can see you trying to process all this stuff and stack them up. Good job on that. So how we'll make this better? We will just get back what this assignment was about using your guys' landmarks and landmarks and guidelines. So how does that look? I was explaining in the last class to try not use the edges of the edges of your character or whatever you're drawing as a way to use horizontal and vertical lines to use as a guide to see where things are from each other. And then I was talking about landmarks, but like I don't know what they're called in other ways. I call them little landmarks or negative space or tangents. I really don't know what to call them because I don't know if other people do this, but this is what I do. So in places like this, when this one changed to that little corner, I use as a reference point. This right here, that right there, I use that as a reference point. This right here, that little, when they switch directions, I use that as a reference point. Same with this one. So if I was, same with this, same with that. So if I was making this drawing and I was copying it, I know I will use probably this guy, this one, this and this, that, this one for sure. This one right here, I think that's an important one. Same with that. And this and that. So I know I will probably use those as landmarks. So how does that look? How does that look? For new folks or online people, it looks something like this. I'll use the edge of this and make this a horizontal line. So imaginary line, so I know that the peak ends almost at the end of this week and at the beginning of this wing, no week, wing. So if I look at it, Eagles, I already can tell that she put the head too far around here when it's like the middle of the wing instead of, let me get another color. I guess so we can see the difference. So in hers, it looks kind of like she extend the bird all the way here because her beak is like around this from the wing. And the doesn't is supposed to touch the end of this wing, but then she's way far from that wing. So that's an example how we use these guidelines. Another way to do it is, let's say, this little one I talked about. So if I were to make a horizontal line there, I can tell that the wing and the neck ends about the same level, and it's almost at the end of the body of the bird. So then I will check where hers is, and that looks pretty right. Maybe hers is a little bit above, a little bit too big, but that looks pretty right. Again, the disclaimer I always say when I make this is only if you're trying to be super accurate, like with your reference, the animal, like facial proportions or things like that. This does not apply if you're doing things that are stylized. If you're doing things that are stylized or minimalistic or just gestural drawings, this doesn't apply. This is if you're trying to do like a perfect copy and get proportions correctly all the way. So another one will be, I probably will use this one right here. So I will make that line and see where hers is. So on the original one, this area, like the top of the head, is usually at the same level of the middle of the neck of the other bird. Here, this bird is too far out. So I will say this neck should be around here and go down there. And that's where the head is. So if she were to fix this, we are pretty close to what we saw here. You see? Boom. So it will mix like when that, you can see that when the peak ends is where this is part of the wing. And here's where the wing ends, it's like this part of the wing. So that's why I use these type of landmarks or edges. Another one will be, let's say this one right here, and then we move to the next person. I will use that. Well, you see, this one's not very useful because it's very similar to the one of this edge. But at the same time, I already know that it's almost the length of the head. So let's try a different one. Let's try this one. I want to use that little peak right there. So I know that he hits the top of the head and where the wings split. So on here, we know that she has the head above that line and the wings below it. So, where the wings split should be above it and hers are below it. And the head should be below that line, hers is above it. So how will we fix this? Well, we know that according to this, then the head should be around here. And this wing ends about there. That's where the wing should end. So that's a pretty good line. And last one, I will say this one, like this long one here. It's almost like it goes all the way down and just a little bit comes out before the neck starts. So if I were to follow this, then just a little bit, I will say, there. And then that's where the neck starts. So yeah, so this is how we use those guidelines that I was talking about. In general, like I said, I really like how you did the gestures and all your angles, right, Higo? That came out really nice. Alrighty. So let's go to the next one. The next one is dark. Dark, you did a gorgeous job. This is absolutely beautiful. It's something that I will actually like to oil paint. This is really, really pretty. Oh, we have one with color. Beautiful. Look at him. Look at him going all the extra mile. This is very lovely. Okay. So this is darks, and I can tell you right now, dark, this is gorgeous. Like gorgeous. I'm trying to think what you did last week. Let me see. I'm trying to see what you did last week. I remember Suji's and his heel and okay, so you dark, you did the pretty beautiful fox rendering. I remember now. I wasn't sure if that was yours, Suji. So beautiful. Again, this is something that's like out of an oil painting to me. I would love to oil paint this. The reason I can is because it's a photograph of the sculpture, so it will be, I guess, copyright. But it's a great idea for as a reference to make your own painting. Dark, how do you felt working on this? Oh, Dark is gone. He was just here. No, he's still here. I'm not sure. So let's see. This is gorgeous. It's almost like trace. It's like beautiful. Even that I know it's not, because I can totally see that the angles on this is different. But this is completely beautiful. The gesture is really nice. This gesture is nice. I really like the framing that you put, that you made it like in a frame. The angle, I like how you exaggerated a little bit of the gesture. I absolutely love that you exaggerated that. Also, I'm very happy seeing that you left that line there. I like seeing that you are treating this like a 3D thing. You know, I really like seeing that happening. That you're not thinking in flat lines. I'm trying to think. I love how you treated the little details and the eyes. That I feel like this is a beautiful drawing portfolio piece for you. If I was you, I will definitely put this in your portfolio for a drawing piece. This is completely beautiful, and I love the colors you choose too. Yeah, I will say that you pretty much nailed the assignment of keeping the proportions correctly. If anything, the few things that I have to say are very nitpicking, but it's like not worth that, to be completely honest. Because I feel like it's stylization. Yeah, like simple. Like I feel like that will be like stylization more than anything. Because this is beautiful. Let me check the top of this head. It's almost at the end of this little tail. Yours is above it. This is right here, if you guys can see. His is below. Or let me see. When the wings connect, I mean the little landmark. That's pretty spot on. That's amazing. That looks really, really spot on. The peak, the end of the peak, that's pretty spot on. If anything, it's, you know, it's like here's in the middle of the leg. Yours is more in there, but again, this is just nitpicking shit. Super nitpicking. And let me see, this one is about almost by the eye. This little guy here, so it's between almost the end of the eye, and it goes in between the head and the wings. So yours is freaking spot on too. Look at that. That's awesome. But yeah, everything looks really fantastic. Maybe this little guy, if anything. But again, this is great. I have nothing else to say. Like, this is awesome. Great job. You nailed the assignment, Dark. And I think we have one more person, and then we can turn into a little perspective tutorial, since that's what we said we were gonna do last week. We got God Slayer today. We got God Slayer. Here we go. I really like you keep doing your gesture drawings from different perspective, God Slayer. I really like seeing the movements that you have on them. It's making me happy to still see those things happening. That you keep working with your working. This is pretty funny, you guys. I love the Mario, what is it called? It's not a Goomba. Bow Wow. No, is it Bow Wow or something like that? A Bow? No, is it a Bow Wow? I forgot the name of that guy. I know he's like a dog. I think it's Bow Wow. Chomp. Who is Bow Wow? I'm trying to think who Bow Wow is. Is Bow Wow one for original Super Nintendo? I need to know this. I feel like we should have like a little quick like do 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 like disclaimer. Let's see. Bow Wow Mario. Bow Wow. It is Bow Wow. You see? I knew it. Bow Wow. There it is. Huh. So it was. So I guess we were both right. Chain Chomp. Okay, so you get, so it's called Chain Chomp, but I call it Bow Wow. Is it both? Because yeah. Or is Bow Wow the one from Zelda? Well, I don't know. The mystery continues. A bomb, a bomb. I know that one too. Bomb is the one that you throw. I think that's a bomb. That's the one that you throw, I believe. But okay, let me get to work here. All right, so I can see that Godslayer did this one right here. The Godslayer did that one. So I just added him because I remember you say put some twist and say, yeah. I know, I noticed that. I love that twist that you did. It's really hilarious. If you guys want to see it again, look at the twist he did. He added Chain Chomp or Bow Wow, I guess his name both, with Mario in it. That's really freaking funny. Okay, so let's go to the review of the review of this guy. Okay, I really like seeing how you were trying to get the angles correctly of the wings and the proportions. That's pretty good. Also that you were doing the shading, that you were trying to get the yeah, the shading. Here, let's make it easier. Not the shading, I'm sorry, the values. I need to eat. And also, this is really beautiful. Like this face is really beautiful. I love how that came out. This rendering, how you did that, that this is following that shape. I really, really love this. I have a soft spot for swans. I can show you guys this. This is like really, really, really old work. It's like 7, 8 years old. This is my work. This is one of my like black swans paintings. So this is really old. This is about 7, 8 years old now. But yeah, I really love this swan. So this is the night swan, and this is the day one. When I look at this, I'm like, oh God, all work. It's like, no. But they're very popular prints of mine, so I still have them on my website. I think one of the latest ones, animals I did that I like was this horse. I like how that horse came out. But yeah, enough about me. But yes, I just wanted to show you I have a soft spot for swans, that's all. So let's do. I just realized that he has a tie. This is really funny. That's really funny. Oh, that was the sketch. Okay, okay. That's really funny. I love it. Okay, so we got the first thing I want to try is like, so this is the angle of the wings. And as you can see, they are like parallel almost. Like they're parallel to each other. And yours is almost parallel. It's a little bit more like that, but you almost have it there. Then I will say, remember when I talked about on the last class to look at these type of like in landmarks? So if you look at where this wing ends, you can see that it's almost at the end of the chest before the neck starts. Yours is almost at the belly. So it's like yours have the wing all the way down to the belly. and it should touch almost the halfway base of this wing, like halfway through this part of the wing. And yours is at the end of the wing. Another thing will be when you do this, this wing should get past it, just as a little bit, and most of the neck should be on this side, just that little side on the other side. Yours is a little bit bigger, but it still just works. So to fix it, I will say your wing should be ending around here. Yeah. So your wing should be around here. And this wing should be like, look how this is almost touches it. Yours is all the way up. So this will have to go, well, this one and those are the same level. So these two are good. But then the bottom of the wing should be more like, trying to see, well, if this was the correct line, then that's correct actually. Just push it a little bit more. This is one of those things why I did this assignment, to try to make you draw what you like, what you're actually seeing versus what you think you're seeing. So this wing here is like half the size that it should be. Like example, look at that distance here and your distance here. And like the angle of that wing should be more like that. So it seems like you were trying to match, I don't know, maybe I'll be wrong, but it seems like you were trying to match the size of this wing compared to the other one, but they're very disproportionately in the actual photo. The actual wings are kind of like here. Kind of like that. Yeah, similar to that. And then this little guy, this one's correct and it's shooting out. And when you look at both wings right here to each other where they end, so we know that I will have to do that. So I know a little bit below it, around here, should be where that wing ends. Yeah, so that's more accurate with the where they should be. And I'm trying to get this angle correctly. There we go. Kira, when you use that emoji, it's so funny to me. And the other one will be is if you do this line here, from the edge of the wing, you see that it's pretty much at the end of the little tail. Sorry, don't zoom out that much. I keep zooming, I gotta zoom in more. So that means yours, when I do that, is below the tail. So now I know like where I put the wing is about correct. I'm sorry, when I put this wing here is about correct. So we know that the little tail should be there. Depends where your things are from each other. Either, yeah, it should be about there. I like that you're trying to make up what's happening with the legs, even though you don't see it on the photo. That's nice. Yeah, it's about there. But regardless of that, good job. I really like seeing how you followed the lines, the contour lines. This face is beautiful. This little highlight right here in the nose, on the nostril, that bounce of light, that's beautiful. I like how you did the rim light. That rim light is very nice. How you did all this rim light. That's very pretty. Especially how you treated it here. That you keep that light from the photo reference. So that's very pretty. So good job on this. And just keep trying, practicing doing those guidelines. that we talked about from last class. All right. I believe that's all that we have for submissions this week. Yes. So we're gonna go and do like a first like perspective, a little bit of perspective tutorial. I'm just gonna improvise this. I was not prepared because I thought we were gonna draw. I was gonna draw one of the animals, but I remember last class we talked about the perspective. So let's talk about composition and perspective before everything else. So I'm gonna be a little bit all over the place. So let's say I am gonna give some of this. So we're gonna do like a little bit of both. We're gonna do a little bit of both perspective and composition combo. So the first one will be 1 point perspective. I'm sure many of you have seen those grids that you see like sun rays doing this before. So that's kind of what we're gonna go about today and some of the general rules. First, we have to talk about what's the point of the horizon. Where's the point of the horizon? Where do all the lines come to? And then, before I forget, let me pull it up so I don't forget. It's how to find that in a photo. Darn it. Here we go. It is here we go. This is a good example. This is, I hate when it does that. This is in reality, let me see. 1 point perspective, 1 point perspective, city buildings. Here we go. Oh, it seems like somebody already did a tutorial with this one. So that might save me some time. Yeah, somebody already did this. I want to look up later who it is so we can give this person some credit. I already found it online. But I want to find one that we can do on our own. Darn it. Internet's being stupid. Okay. So, first off, I wanted to talk about 1 point perspective and the horizon. So, we have this is the horizon line. So this is this is the horizon line. You know, usually where you see like the sun going down on the horizon. And that is like the way that you see where everything ends at the horizon from your point of view. And you know, things are bigger when they're close, and then they get smaller when they get away from you. Again, this is going to be very, very basic perspective 101 because of the poll you guys did last week. And how we're going to build from it. Then the typical on composition, the typical smack in the middle, boring horizon point is right there in the middle of the painting. If you want to have better compositions or more interesting compositions, try to always have the horizon line either below or above it. Either below or above the smack in the middle. That's why when you always see the rule of thirds for composition, that's why you have those two lines there. That's why that exists. Because it's like, that's a better composition than having the horizon line right smack in the middle. So, moving on to the next point is this will be considered, could be considered a 1 point perspective. So 1 point, we're going to have Let me explain those really quick so we got an idea of what's what. So 1 point perspective is where everything goes to 1 point from straight. So a 1 point perspective cube will look like this. Then when you have the 2 points, it means that you have, example, if this is the horizon, darn it, if this is the horizon, you will have 2 points. One where everything goes to, like, where everything goes to, vanishing, it's called vanishing point. Everything goes to the vanishing point. And the other one, it's somewhere else. It can be like outside the page, all the way up here, all the way up here. It depends on the angle. And that's usually because you see the top of the buildings or below things. So that will look something like this. So that's 2 points. So 1 point is you're seeing this side, which is this. But now now we have introduced a new one, which is this guy on the top. Here you don't see it, but here now we see it. So that makes it 2 point. So if I were to try to find the vanishing point of this one, like this little point of this guy, let's make a line. And let me go around there. So I already know that's way far out. And then this guy here. So I know my vanishing point is all the way far out there. But then what if I wanted to make my own? If I wanted to make my second point, let's say here, that's where I choose my second point to be. Then it will be kind of like this. So that's my second one. And if I have another, let's say I have another item here, then the first one, the first point will be around there. So that's first point. And now this is the top one. So now we have to connect that to that. Well, in this case, you don't see it because I drew this too high, so you will not see it. But if I did it about here, that will make it different. Then that's where you will see it. So this is 2 points. Then I haven't thought about the horizon. Oh, cool, Higo. I'm glad you learned that from here. Then you have 3 point perspective. This one is really hard, and I usually don't use it. Most people usually, I don't think they use it. I guess most like superhero, or like if you do like Spider-Man type of comics, you do one more. And 3 point perspective is more like a fishbowl. So it's like you're getting all of these guys at the same time. So let me, because I don't want to draw that one because it's crazy. I'm going to show you what that looks like. This is a 3 point perspective. That's what I mean. It's kind of like fish eye, or if you were doing kind of like Spider-Man type of stuff. Why? And I'll explain to you why there's 3 points on this. It's because first you have this one. You have this side of the buildings. Is fishbowl 5 point perspective? I actually not sure. It should be. It should be. I'm just saying like it gives this fishbowl kind of view, but I don't. Is it? I don't think there's five points perspective. Is there? Oh, no, I guess there is. You are right. Yes, you're correct. So this will be 5 point perspective, which is insanity. Sorry, I was thinking of fourth and fifth dimension, not perspectives. So yes, you are correct on that. But what I was trying to say was that in this case, it just kind of gives that weird again, it's not fishbowl, it's like augmentation type of view. One is like, I could never draw a fine point either. I think it will take me forever. And so this one is more like, so this will be one. Then this one in that direction is going to be the other one. And then the one on the top, like the ones that you see on the tops, that is the third point. So this is 3-point perspectives right here. So general rules. Usually in one and in 2-point perspectives. So if this is your, let's say this is your grid or whatever. Usually the horizontals lines are always perpendicular to the floor. Usually, like they're usually like that. Or the vertical lines are always 90 degrees. They're always perpendicular to each other. So let me show you. This is perpendicular. You see, they're always perpendicular. And so the ones that faces the front towards you, they're always perpendicular. So as you can see, all this is all perpendicular to you. People that are not perpendicular, this means perpendicular. And it's because you go 90 degrees on both sides. And parallels are, parallels is because they both goes in the same direction. Or the tangent, but they both go in the same direction. So usually their verticals are always also perpendicular to the floor 90 degrees, which is these guys. Let me get something better. So all your lines are always 90 degrees. There's like a delay when I touch shift. So I get a little extra line. Damn it. So they're always 90 degrees. And they're always perpendicular to each other. So that's how, those are like some general rules when you're drawing. So no matter what you do, let's say let's say that this is my vanishing point. You know, I can have a bazillion little lines, which I know I'm doing really shitty. I should have something made ready for this. So if I want to make a cube, I know that the cube is always going to be, let's say that's the bottom, then I know that's the top, and well, this is where you change the perspective. But usually, so I already know that whatever's on this side is always perpendicular to each other. And the edge of it is, so if I want to make the next cube, I know that that's that, but then the body on the behind is perpendicular. So those are like general rules that you know you will just have to follow. So let's say this is another cube, then this side gotta be perpendicular. We know this is perpendicular, and I say perpendicular for when they touch the grid, when they touch the corner. So, and if I wanted to do windows, you know, I wanted to do windows or like a door, you know, I gotta keep following this line, but then go down and we know it's perpendicular, always. And they have to be parallel to each other. Let's say we want a second window. So that's how you start building stuff. But then the side that is facing me, I know, let's say we want to do some windows. I know that they're always 90 degrees every time. So they're always perpendicular and like 90 degrees every time. So those are general rules to think about when you are building stuff. So then if you want to ask yourself, if you're like a photo and you want to recreate the same, if you want to recreate the same, if you wanted to recreate the same environment or the same type of view or point of view or something like that, then let's say that you want to find where the vanishing, if you want to find where the vanishing horizon or point is. And the way that you do that, it's by tracing the lines to infinity almost. So I know that I usually we go by the first big ones. So we put that there. And then, why is it not like, here we go. Ah, it's kind of hard to see. Let me change the color. There we go. Then let's follow this one right here and trying to follow it. And then I'm going to do, let's say I'm going to do this one right here of this building. Then I'm going to do that one. Oh no, I deleted the other one by accident. Then let me do this guy right here. I'm following this one right here. Yay. So where they all intersect, that's your vanishing point. That's the vanishing point right there. So now you know that almost like every line goes to there. But this is, in reality, this is really a 2-point perspective. Interesting. This person got it in a different spot that I did. Did they? Wait, where's mine at? All right, so I got mine around the bus. And this person got theirs, yeah, a little bit above the bus. Yeah. So this person is pretty close to mine too. Oh no, but this is because this is a different photo. It's much lower. This is a different card. Yeah, this one was stretched to be a 1-point perspective. So this is the basics of 1-point perspective. And this is how you find it if you like a photo that you want to use as reference, like that point of view. That's how you find where the vanishing point is from a photo. So that's about it. And I gotta go, you guys. So this was like the basic of Perspective 101. And I'm gonna think about what type of assignment to give you guys for you to do some type of environment with some type of environment for the 1-point perspective for next week, okay? But guys, I got an appointment. I gotta go. I'll see you all next week. Thank you for coming. Bye.